welcome to our Rooted Takeover. I'm really excited about tonight's message. I had a really hard time writing it because I was so excited for it. But I feel like I feel like it's something that's good for you guys where you're at right now. I know that you guys, how many of y'all are ready to be done with, how many of you are done with school right now? How many of you like, I'm out, like I'm done, pieces? How many of you know that if you don't bust your tail over the next couple weeks, you are going to fail? How many? What's funny is people watching this by camera will never know what just happened and see that literally you stood. That was awesome. Okay. So some of you guys have got to, that was probably the best hand raise I've seen. So before you guys leave tonight, everybody pray for Jordan. All right. So apparently she needs some prayer. All right. She needs some prayer. But yeah, so you guys are getting ready. How many of you guys are sad? Is anybody in here that student that's kind of sad to see the school year go like you've enjoyed? Hey, hold on. In all seriousness, any of my seniors, I know you're excited to be done, but is there any sadness that you're about to close a massive, okay. No, for me. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to give it about a year and a half. When your bills start coming in and any student loans that maybe you had, any of that stuff, you'll be wishing you were back in high school. So I'm just telling you, it'll come. So, but all right, well, hey, go ahead, take out your notes for me. The message tonight is named exactly what you see on the screen. It is called Rooted, and we're going to get into what that means here in a moment. But how many of you guys have ever felt like you're in a place that you're just ready to move on? You're just like, and that's why I just asked, how many of you guys know, like right now, you're ready to be done, you're ready to pack it up, you're ready to move on, and you don't have to be a graduating senior, all right? You don't have to be one of my seniors. You could be somebody that's getting ready to move into high school. You could be ready to move to a new job. You can get ready to do changes in college, whatever it is. How many of y'all have ever been in that place where you are just ready? You're just ready. Let me see, show of hands. You are in a place in your life and you could care less anymore. You're done with where you are and you're ready to move on. Wow. We have a lot of you guys standing up tonight for where you are. So with that, would you guys say that sometimes you feel like you're in a place that you're just ready for the next step? Would you guys agree? You're just ready for the next step, right? And for where you are, I haven't even gotten into my message. I'm already saying preach it. But you feel like where you are, this makes me feel good. It makes me I'm speaking on something that you guys need, right? So if you're in that place, maybe you're just, how many of you have you ever been just fed up with where you are in your life? Like you're not, like you're just tired, right? Like for you, all right, wow. Like for you, you could take anything and you could say, if I could only make it to and just fill in the blank, you would be happy, right? If I could only make it to just fill in the blank, all I have to do is make it. And you're so focused on the future, right? Like you're so focused on the next step. Like you're so focused to get to somewhere else. You're just ready to move on to the next chapter you could be in. You're just ready to get there. But here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to lean in because this is where I think that's important. Because look, I've been in that situation. I know some of you guys. I know my graduating seniors are in that situation. I know some of you guys that maybe you're moving into being a senior. You could be a junior saying, I just want to be a senior so I can be done. You can be in that situation, but no matter what, where you are in your life, here's what I want you guys to do. Here's what I want you guys to write this down. Are you all ready? You need to be rooted where you are right now. You need to be rooted where you are right now. And here's why. Here's why that's so important, okay? Your mission field, the place that you can make change, the place that you can impact someone, the place that you can do something different in somebody else's life is where you stand right now. Your mission field is where your feet currently are. So while I understand that it's so important, I know it's a big deal. I know graduating seniors, you're ready to move on. I know for some of you guys, I know so many of you are in places in your life. Maybe it's with family situations. Maybe it's with relationships. Maybe you have a high school job right now. You're just ready to be done. For some of you guys that are in college, maybe you're like, hey, I'm just ready to be done with college and get into a job. Whatever it is for you, where you are is your mission field. And I think it's important that we do that. I think it's important that we need to look where we are. I want you guys to write this down. You need to be okay with where you are, and this is why. We need to stop looking at the next step and the next step and the step after that, and we need to look at where we are and how God can use us here. We need to stop looking at this step and then this step and then this step. We need to look at where we are right now. Why are we right here? Why are my feet planted right here? Why am I exactly where I am? We need to look right now where we are and how God can use us where we are. I think it's very important that you're rooted in the moment that you're in. Now, what does that mean to be rooted? Now, for any of you, and I'm sure you guys don't, how many of you enjoy doing any type of garden work? Is anybody in here? Am I the only one? Somewhat? Anybody? Okay. For me, I love it. All right. Here's the bad part. When Emily and I got married, we made a pact. All right. We made a deal. I always had to do the house cleaning, and that was my job. She always did the laundry. Guys, take that. It's the best thing in the world. If you're looking whenever you get married, I hate doing laundry. It's awesome. All right. Here's what stinks. She doesn't count the yard work, which I do. Fellas, find a way to work that into the deal. It doesn't work for mine. She knows I enjoy it. I consider myself a green thumb, all right? That means that I love working. That means if I'm in the yard, I can make things grow, all right? I can dig holes. I can plant plants. I can make sure they stay. I can make sure they stay healthy. We have a nice-looking yard. I work in it. I try to get everything. I have it. My wife, Emily, has a black thumb, all right? Do you guys know what that means? She can't keep anything alive, all right? Emily will kill any plant she touches. Do any of you guys have plants like in your home? Any of you guys have those? We don't. And it's not because of me, all right? We don't have them because Emily can't keep something alive, right? Like she's not gonna have a plant in the house. She has a black thumb. I, on the other hand, love it. I love having plants. Here's the thing about being rooted. With that, love being in the yard. When I work on something, when I put something in the yard, when I put some type of tree or plant or flowers, wherever I put it, it needs to stay. I can't just put it somewhere and plant it and then a few days later be like, all right, I really think it looked better over here. I need to move it. I need to know right then and there where it's going to be, because the reason is the shorter time that you plant something and you put it somewhere and you consistently move it from one place to the next, it has no chance for its roots to grow. And that means the more that I move it from place to place to place, the more opportunity that plant has to die. I have to find where I put it there and leave it in that place. I need to allow it to grow. I can't be impatient. Is anybody else in here impatient? Anybody wants things right here and now? Is that so? I'm in good company. That's good. All right. So you can't be impatient. I think a lot of times with our own life, I think we become so impatient, we try to rush God. We try to ask God, hey, I need you to kind of hurry this along, right? Like, I need you to kind of make this happen. I need you to kind of help me with this situation. God, come on, I need you to hurry up with where I am. I need you to get me to the next step. God, I'm tired of waiting. God, I'm tired of this. And I think a lot of times we think that God is just too slow. I really do. I've said that before. I know I've said it to myself. Maybe you've said it, that God, you're just working too slow. God, you're too slow where you are. Here's what it is. I want you guys to write this down. God's not too slow. We're just too impatient. God's not too slow. We are just too impatient with where we are. Tonight's the message, the scripture that I took comes from Colossians chapter 2, verse 7. And I use the New Living Translation. It says this. It says, let your roots grow down into him, and let your lives be built on him. Then your faith will grow in truth. You were taught, and you will overflow with thankfulness. So the whole point of tonight is talking about the importance of being rooted. I know you guys are ready to move on. I know some of you are ready to move on in situations you're in with whatever it is that you're dealing with in your life. I know when I say that, I'm sure something comes to mind for you that you're just ready to move to something else tonight. I want you to see that there is benefits to allowing God to use you where you are right now. There's benefits to allowing yourself to be rooted where you are now. And I think here's the thing. I think if you choose to allow God to use you, you're going to see some things happen in your life that you never knew were going to happen. I think each of you in this room, every single one of you, will see if you just allow God to use you where you stand, something is going to happen. The first thing that I put down, the first point that I have from you guys, is that if you allow God to use you where you are, you create change. All right, I want you to underline that. You create change, right? Whether you choose to allow God to use you where you are, you have a chance to create change in somebody else's life. You have a chance to make something different for somebody else's life. And maybe that's just somebody that you come in contact with that day. So for you, my seniors, if you're so ready to get done with high school and you're so ready to move on and you're just frustrated and tired of this and anybody else, whether it's a job or wherever you are, if you're just so ready to move on past something, you're going to miss what's happening right there in front of you. Because you're so focused on moving to the next step. You're so focused on moving on. And there's people that are planted in your life for a reason for you to create change in their life. There's somebody, maybe I want you guys to think right now, maybe there's somebody right now. Maybe it's the person that sits next to you in the locker that you have no idea who it is, but yet every single day y'all show up to the locker at the same time. Do you think it's just ironic that happens? Maybe God is trying to say, hey, maybe you should talk to him. Maybe you should nudge him. Maybe you should do something. Is it someone that you sit next to in class that, guys, you're this far through the year and you haven't even really spoken to at all? Maybe it's somebody at a job that you work with. Maybe you have a job after school and you've been working with someone every single day and you guys never really talk at all. You just, the stores is running slow. There's not much going on, but you're kind of playing on your phone. Because you're like, hey, I'm just ready to be done. I'm just ready to move on. There's a chance that there's an opportunity that it's time to move on. A few weeks ago, I was driving home, and have any of you guys ever been driving home and you got a little bit of a drive and you're just playing some worship music and you just have like a worship moment with God? Has anybody ever been in that place? Like you're just in the car, you're just playing. Well, it's okay if you're in there, not driving yet. You could be in the car, you could be doing something. Have you ever had a worship moment? Let me be fair to everybody who doesn't drive, all right? How many of you guys have ever just been somewhere, whether you're just sitting in your room or you're driving or something, you're just listening to music, and the next thing you know, you're like, God, you're just praying. Like you're just talking to God. God put you into this moment. I had this moment a few weeks ago. We were driving home from a wedding, and we were coming from Aniana, so that's like way out in the boonies. Like there's a place that goes past the boonies and goes past, that's Aniana, all right? Like it's way out there. And we were driving home, and I had the music cranked as high as it'll go, and I was just playing a worship. I was playing one of our Takeover night, prayer night playlists, and I was just going through it. And I just felt like God talking to me in that moment, that he was kind of talking about where we are and how I have to be satisfied with where I am. But here's the thing. I felt like God was saying, look, you still need to be satisfied where you are, but I still want you to be hungry. You still need to be satisfied where you are right now, rooted where you are, but still remain hungry. I still want you to be ready. I still want you to be ready to do something. And as I thought about that, I thought, God, how can I bring change? What can I do to bring change? And then I started thinking about you guys. And I thought about what you guys walk through in school and the people that you walk past. Look, I sat here and I thought more and more, there are people that you walk past every day in your schools that are hurting and you don't even know it. There are people that you sit next to in lunch every single day that they just want to get through the day. And they just want to be done, and they hate everything about their life, but you don't know it. There's people that maybe you work with. There's people that you're on a team with. There's people that, whatever it is, there are people that are hurting, but are you in a place that you're so focused on what's coming next that you're missing the hurt in front of you? You're missing what's going on in their life. Look, you can be that change in their life, guys. You can be the difference in their life. I just get so excited and fired up because I think about people that I work with. And I think about how I act and the things that I say and how sometimes I just think, you know what, this job is not where I'm going to be forever. I'm ready for something else. I'm ready for another job. Like I'm ready for something different. But maybe God has me in this place for a reason because I'm here to create change. I'm here to do something different. I'm here to do something for their life. There's a reason that you need to be rooted in the season that you are. There's a reason that you need to take time and say, you know what, God, my feet are planted here. I want you to water me. I want you to allow me to grow right here. And look, I understand that I'm ready to move on, but God, I know that in this moment, you're going to use me where I am because I'm going to create change. All right, so that's the first thing, that if we allow God to use us, I think that we can create change in other people's lives. But I think that as well, the next thing that we can do is we can create opportunities. We can create change, but I think that we can also create opportunities. That means that if you're staying rooted where you are, it means that you make the most of the situation that you're placed in. All right? It means that you make the most of the situation that you are placed in. That means that you're walking out the purpose that God has for your life. And look, if you're in that season, if you choose to create change in somebody else's life, that's an opportunity that has now been created. Do you guys hear me? That's an opportunity in somebody's life. If you choose to pursue that relationship, if you choose to say, you know what, I've stood next to this locker every day and I've seen this person walk up to me, I'm just going to turn and say, hey, how's your day? Just out of nowhere. Okay, you can be that awkward. I promise you. Awkward situations and awkward conversations are funny. All right, just lean into it. Right, just keep talking to them. All right, it gets awkward. It gets funny. Just keep chatting. All right, just ask them, hey, how's your day? And then just see how they are. Create an opportunity. Create an opportunity where you are. And look, sometimes the hard part of that, guys, is trusting in God. Sometimes that's very tough. I can tell you guys myself, I've walked through a lot of situations in my life where putting my trust in God is hard. And maybe you guys have seen that. Maybe there's been moments that you have no idea, like, God, I don't understand this. Like, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to my family? Why is this happening at my school? Why is this happening with the people that I love? It's hard. It is hard sometimes to trust God because we can't see what's on the horizon. I think that a lot of times because we're human, like we want to know. Like sometimes, like if you've ever been like me, sometimes I'm praying to God, like, God, I just need to know. Like I need to know what's coming. Like I need to know what's about to happen. I need to know what that decision that comes tomorrow, I need to know what it's going to be. Like I need to know when I open up that letter for school that I'm going to get into the college that I want to. God, I need to know that I'm going to get a call from those people or that team or that job. I'm going to get a call. Like God, I need to know. All right. Like I'm itching at it. I need to know what's going on. It says, check this out in Psalms 31:14. It's short and simple, right? And I want you guys to write this down and look at this. But I am trusting you, O Lord, saying you are my God. I'm trusting you, oh Lord. You are my God. We have to trust in him. We have to trust. And again, I said, trust is a hard thing. Many times we can't see what's coming, but we have to know that, you know what, God's got me. All right, God's got me in his hands. God's holding me. God knows what's going on. God's here. Look, here's the thing. I know sometimes we want a roadmap. And if you're looking for a roadmap, we've talked about this before. If you're trying to figure out where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do, this is your roadmap. This shows you where you need to be. This shows you where you need to get to. Those morning devotions or evening devotions before you go to bed, if you're trying to figure out what's going on, it's right here. Look, I understand. I can promise you it doesn't pop out all the time right away, but if you spend time in the Word and you spend time finding it, I promise you something's going to come out. Small little nuggets that you're going to find that says, I get what you're saying, God. I get what you're trying to show me. We're doing a yearly Bible right now. We're trying to read through the entire Bible, and I'm struggling with some of the Old Testament. And I was talking to Pastor Brandon the other day. He's like, look, you're going to have to read it over and over and over again. I promise you, one day you're going to read the same passage you read 100 times, and there's a nugget that's going to pop out. And maybe that's you. Maybe that's where you are. This is how you create opportunity. Look, here's what I want you guys to write down. God doesn't put us in places he has no intention of using us in. God is not going to put you in a place that I promise you that he has no intention. You're not just going to be somewhere for no reason. God is not a no reason person. God has a reason for everything that he does. So look, I know that you're looking forward to things, and I know you're trying to find out what's going on. And I know there's a lot of things going on in your life right now. I know a lot of you guys are stressed out. You're stressed out with tests. You're stressed out with getting into the school you want to get to. You're stressed out with jobs. You're stressed out with presentations. You're stressed out with essays, with papers you have to write, or book reports you have to do, or maybe it's getting things turned in. For some of you, maybe it's just, like we said, just getting past this, just being able to pass the class, all right? I know that's where you guys are, but look, we have to take the blinders off. We can't allow that stress not to create opportunities for us in our lives. I think that we need to allow God to use us where we are so we can make an impact on that. Don't miss an opportunity. So tomorrow when you walk into school, don't miss an opportunity. Tomorrow when you walk into school, if you got somebody that you haven't talked to, it could be a student, it could be a teacher, it could be a teammate, whatever it is, don't miss that opportunity. Take an opportunity to find that someone. Now look, I think a lot of times when we look at things on Wednesdays, we talk about what we can do, right? Like we talk about what we as Christians, what we as believers, what happens when we trust in God, what ends up happening with what we can do for other people. But I think sometimes, guys, if you take time to stay rooted where you are, you're also going to see things happen in here. All right? Sometimes it's okay to be selfish with that. Sometimes it's okay to be like, all right, God, I'm doing this. So show me how I grow. Show me how I get better. And this is what I thought as I wrote down. I looked at things. I said, look, if you're willing to allow God to use you where you are, then change is created in you. If you allow God to use you where you are, change is going to be created in you. I think one of the hardest things that I've learned my entire life is just the wondering of what's going to happen, the wondering of what's coming next. This next season, like, all right, God, I'm in this season. I'm tired of it. Tell me what comes next season. What is the next season that's coming? What is there something else? And I think sometimes you guys have to ask yourself this question. This is another thing. I'm telling you guys tonight, I got things I want you to write down. Another thing that I want you to ask. If you're in a season right now and you're not understanding why you haven't moved on, and you're not understanding why maybe you're not getting to the next place, here's what I want you guys to ask. Is there something I need to learn before I can move on? I want you guys to put that down. If that's you right now, if you're stuck in a season and you want to know why you can't get to the next step, ask yourself that question. Is there something that I haven't learned right now is why I can't move on? If you attempt to focus on the next step in your life, I think sometimes we lose that vision. I think just like this, if you're reading a book, yeah, you can skip to the end of the book. That's all well and great. You can be like, oh, okay, this person lived, this person died, this is how the book ends. But you have no idea how it got to that place. You have no idea the development that happened in the middle. And I think sometimes that's where our lives is with Christ. We can't just jump ahead to the end of our story. We just can't jump into the next season. You got to take a moment and find out what's going on in your life right now. So for some of you guys, maybe it is enduring those tests. Maybe it is enduring the stress of staying up till 1 or 2 in the morning working on things just so you can pass a class. Maybe it is that what it is. Maybe you're stressed out with job. Maybe you have somebody at work that you absolutely can't stand. Maybe you got to work through that. Maybe you got to find a way to love that person. I can tell you one thing. That's a very hard thing to do, is find somebody to love when they just drive you up the wall. Maybe that's where you are in your life. And sometimes I even catch myself asking God, like, what is it you're trying to teach me? God, what is it you're trying to show me? What is it that you're trying to do? What do I need to fix? Where do I need to go? What do I need to change? What is it? It's almost like unlocking this magical key to get to the next season. All right, God, if I'm going to pass this level, if I'm going to be where I am right now, I got to figure out the maze. I got to figure out how to get to it. I have to work through the season. Then the last thing that I want you guys to look, if you allow God to use you where you are, opportunities are created for you. Opportunities are created for you. Not only are changes created in you, but I think opportunities are. When you take time to stay planted where you are, maybe there's somebody right now that can help you get to that next step. Maybe there's a relationship that you have to have. Maybe you've been so sour with your own relationship, or maybe you just don't like other people or being somewhere. Maybe God is trying to say, look, there are opportunities for you, but if you'll just stay rooted where you are, I promise you, I'll show you how to get to that next step. But you have to enjoy where you are. You have to see where you are. Here's the thing. There's so many things that happen. I wrote this down. I said, things happen randomly for no reason at all, but they create opportunities. And I asked the question, I said, can you recognize the opportunity when it matters the most? I'll read that for you again. It's just something I wrote down when I was prepping for you guys. I said, things happen randomly for no reason at all, and I think they create opportunities. But when these opportunities come, can you recognize it? Can you see that it's there? Or is it something that all these things are going around you, but you're so focused on the next step that you miss that opportunity? God's saying, hey, I'm trying to show you right here. If you'll just listen, if you'll show, I got the opportunity. It's presented in front of you, but you're like, God, get me to the next step. God, get me to the next step. God, I'm ready to go. And he's like, I'm trying to show you how to take that step. There's a bridge you have to take to get there first. God, I just want to go to the next step. And I think that we miss that. Guys, when you're so focused on what is coming next, you will miss what is currently going on in front of you. Don't focus so much on the future that you miss the present. Don't focus so much on the future that you miss what is happening in front of you. Don't focus so much on the future that you miss the development and the growth that God is trying to put in you right now, right where you are. Right where you are. God is trying to show you that he is willing and he is ready to create opportunities in your life only if you are willing to allow him to use you where you are. God is ready to create those opportunities for you. Look, I'm going to go ahead and invite the band back up. And as they make their way back up, I want to share with you guys just a verse to kind of close out tonight. It comes from Proverbs chapter 16, verse 3. And here's what it says. It says, put God in charge of your work, then what you've planned will take place. Put God in charge of your work, and then what you've planned will take place. Look, guys, if you do those things that are right in front of you, if you live out those opportunities, that change that's right in front of you, things like relationships, job opportunities, colleges that you want to be at, teams that you want to be at, people that you want to be a part of. If you do all these things and you put God in charge of those and where you are right now, then what you've planned will take place. God will say, you know what? You live the way that I wanted you to. You listen to me in this moment. I know it was hard. I know it was frustrating. But I know in this moment, if you just listen to me, I'm going to present an opportunity for you, and the things that you want, I'm going to bring to you. I want you guys right here. I want you to do something for me right now. In just a moment, we're going to have our prayer team come up, because I want you guys, I know some of y'all are dealing with that. I know some of y'all are so focused. I've heard so many of y'all talk about it. Like, Adam, I'm ready to graduate. Adam, I'm ready to be done. Adam, I'm ready to move on. Like, that's all I got to do. I'm done with it. I just got to make it. Adam, I'm so tired of the situation I'm in with my family. I'm so tired of what I have to deal with and what I have to put up with. I'm so tired of the friends that I have to put up with. I'm so tired of the things they talk about or joke about. I'm tired of it. I'm ready to move on. But guys, it's important that you look where you are for a reason. I know sometimes it's hard. It's frustrating. It makes you sick to your stomach. And you just want to ask God, why are you having me here? I just want to move on. And look, in just a moment, they're going to come up. And I want to challenge you guys to come up and pray with them. The band's going to play a song. And I want you to come and just pray. I want you to take time to trust someone else and say, you know what? This is where I'm struggling. I'm not rooted. Like, I'm literally sitting on top of the soil, not allowing my roots to grow. I'm just sitting there. I want you to take time, and I want you to come up and sit and just pray with somebody like, hey, I want you to help me figure out how I can be rooted. So look, I want to go ahead and invite our prayer team up. They're going to get set. And I want the rest of you guys, I want y'all to stand with me, because I want to give you guys just a moment. The band's going to play. They're going to sing a couple verses. I just want you guys, look, these guys that you see down front, I promise you, they love you. And I promise you they want nothing more than to pray with you, because I can promise you the people that are standing up here are walking and stressing through the exact same thing that you are. And there's nothing better than to find a student that you can relate to and that you can trust in and say, you know what? This is where I'm at. So look, I'm going to go ahead and let our band play. They're going to sing a song, and it's just going to do it for a couple minutes. I'm going to give you an opportunity to come up and come stand with one of these guys, and then we'll pray ourselves out. So I'm going to go ahead and let the band sing for you guys for just a moment. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. And worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave.
place, God, that you would set my throne. You would lay down your life, that I would be set free. Yeah. Whoa, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me.
God, let me give you just another minute or so. If you guys want to pray, I'm going to let them sing one more time. I'm going to just extend it just for a moment. I'm going to let them sing to the chorus just one more time, and I want to give you the opportunity. I'm going to leave them up here just one more moment and take the opportunity, seize it. I feel like you guys need that right now with where some of you are in your life. So I'm going to let them sing one more time, and I'm going to let these guys stand up here for you.
Singing worthy. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave.
If you guys will, I just want you to bow your head with me as we got some folks finishing up. I just want you guys to take a moment and just pray with me. Look, with all heads bowed and all eyes closed, tonight, before you leave, I want you to accept a challenge to not walk out of here without taking a moment tonight and changing your life to follow Christ. Maybe you walked in here tonight because you were just invited by somebody having no idea why you're here. Maybe something struck a chord in your heart. You felt something tugging. I can promise you, if you feel anything going on, that's God trying to work inside you and say, hey, I just want you to be rooted in me. I just want you to allow your roots to grow deep into me. Maybe you walk in here tonight. Maybe you have a relationship with Christ, but maybe you've allowed yourself to be uprooted and moved from time to time to time, and you haven't given yourself a chance to let your roots grow deep. Change it tonight. Let tonight be the difference. Let tonight be something amazing that happens in your life. Let tonight be like, you know what, God? I hate where I'm at, but I know you have me here for a reason, and I'm going to put myself in that position. Look, you heard Shay talk about that Connect card earlier. On their place on that Connect card, there's a place that you can mark down that says, you know what? I'm ready for a relationship with Christ. Look, you can mark it on that card tonight. You can put any question you have. Look, our team will see that, and we'll contact you, and we'll talk with you more about what that means. But I just challenge you, make that happen tonight. Make that be the change, because maybe tonight is the opportunity that God is trying to present to you because he's ready to change your life. So dear Heavenly Father, God, I just thank you for, God, I thank you for a room of students. God, that they're not afraid to come up and pray, God. They're not afraid to say, you know what, this is what I'm struggling with. God, this is what I'm dealing with. And God, I just pray that, God, even if it's just one person in this room tonight, that you're tugging at their heart, and God, they're saying to them, you know what, God, yes, I will be rooted in you, and I'm ready for the change. You put the opportunity in front of me, and I'm ready to take it. God, I pray over my friends in this room tonight, God, that God, you'll allow them to grow deep in you. And God, I just pray that when they do, they're going to see themselves just bloom and grow and be something beautiful and magnificent, God, because they've allowed themselves to be rooted inside of you. God, I pray over the students that are in this room tonight that are, God, they're dealing with those situations. They're struggling with those places in their life, God. God, I just pray that maybe there's a relationship in here tonight that happens so they can help deal with that. They can help walk through that, God. God, again, I know that you have so much planned for our life, God, and I just pray that, God, that the students that stand in this room, they see that. God, we thank you for your love and your mercy, because you didn't have to love us, but yet you do. In your holy name we pray. Amen.